good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us for the Employer Education Partnership Program. Our Lunch and Learn today is with Christopher Jackson, and he is a graduate at the University of Florida as well as an alum of Georgia College and State University. He is a marketing strategist, and today he is going to be talking to us about the art of persuasion. So I'm going to turn the time over to Christopher and let him take it away. Thank you so much again for joining us, and I hope you enjoy today's program. Christopher.
Thank you, Angela. I'm really excited today. I have a really fun topic that I get to talk about. So we've talked a little bit in our first two sessions. If you got to join, or you can check them out on YouTube. We've talked about communication and social media, but today I want to talk a little bit about rhetoric and persuasion. And that can look really different depending on what kind of industry that we're working in. This could be marketing. You could use it to implement different strategies in your marketing strategy, communication, or really just in your personal life if you want to better communicate a message. So I wanted to start off with kind of a philosophical take of what is persuasion and what is rhetoric at large. So Plato, the philosopher, who's really known for being the one who created written dialogue and rhetoric, being a great mind in Western philosophy of rhetoric, quoted, mere knowledge of the truth will not give you the art of persuasion. So Plato is really setting us up here that communication is effective, but also persuasion is something very different, and we got to learn how to be creative in our persuasion. And we're going to learn a little bit today on how to be creative in our persuasion and take that back to our business and implement that into different strategies at large. So let's talk a little bit today about what is persuasion and why it's a useful skill. So I want to start off by Forbes released an article in 2020, and it listed the 7 things to describe people who are persuasive and what they do. And I'm going to read those off to you. So firstly, they aim to solve other people's problems, not just their own. And then second, they don't ignore personality differences. So they look at a wide group of individuals. 3, they're never pushy. So they don't overstep, and they kind of use persuasion in a way that's effective, not necessarily in a pushy manner. 4, they don't ignore power of storytelling. So there is a way that we do this that's kind of glamorizes it, puts a little bit of color to the language that we're using. 5, don't overuse emotion. So we're going to talk about some different appeals, and there's very much an effective strategy in using emotion, but also not overusing emotion or being hyper fixated on trying to convey a very emotional story in your persuasion. And then 6, they don't ignore odd or contrary human behavior, because there's very different nuances of different people, and persuading different people is going to take different strategies, different mindsets, and different points of view. And then 7, relying on science more than pop psychology and focus groups. So the article was stating that sometimes your focus group is going to give you a limited perspective, and sometimes you have to look outside of the box and look at different things that may help you be able to be persuasive in a new way. So moving forward, let's talk about some specifically persuasive people. And at this time, if y'all want to throw somebody in the chat, I would love to hear who you think might be somebody that is persuasive.
I think right now we've got 2 candidates that we will be voting for, are trying to be very persuasive.
That's right.
I think that's what's hitting my feed all the time right now.
That's right. And even with that, there's levels of political communication or political persuasion that can be both effective, but also there can be some that's divisive. And we can even look at Hitler or Stalin maybe and say that they're potentially persuasive, but not for the good of a group or good of a people. So there's definitely, like, we could say, like on the screen, what we have MLK, who was a very effective in persuading different people, but also there's, on the other hand, people who are persuasive for bad or injustice. So we have to take that into account. We do want to be persuasive, but we need to be mindful of what we're persuading people of and the power of persuasion at large. So we have some on the screen. Angela brought up some good points of some that we see in everyday life. So why is persuasion important? I think persuasion is important because we all have a message to tell and we all interact with people in a daily basis. We've talked a little bit about interpersonal communication in our past Lunch and Learn series, but interpersonal communication is something that we do every day in the workplace, in our private life, outside of work, but we're always communicating with people and we have something, whether it's what you want to eat at night, relaying that message to somebody, or maybe it's getting a raise, or maybe it's convincing a group of people to buy your product. So being persuasive is really a skill that is great for anybody. All right, so we've talked about communication and we've talked about persuasion, and I want to go over a little bit of the difference between communication and persuasion, because today we're talking a little bit more what could be considered as rhetoric studies, which is gets into a little bit more of the art of the verbal communication, but we're also going to use it in communication strategies as well. So let's talk a little bit about communication. So communication is really going to be for informing and educating and entertaining individuals, and it's also likely for a two-way process. So when you're communicating, you're listening and responding. It takes a little bit of a give and a take approach, or a push and a pull. And in persuasion is goal oriented. You're trying to convince somebody. It's really one-way communication where you're using a more glamorized and strategic approach to focus on feedback and really what you want to convince an audience to do. So communication can be for different things, for entertaining or for educating, but persuasion is really goal oriented, where you're trying to make a very specific message to get a result that you want from that persuasion. So, who are the best at persuading us? If anybody wants to throw one in the chat or speak out, who's somebody or something that is persuading us right now that's doing a really great job? I know we've had the political example, but is there any ads that are persuading us, or any influencers that we've seen commonly that are persuading us right now? I know for me, Shaquille O'Neal seems to always be on every commercial, and something about his demeanor just makes me smile. He has a way of persuading me. There's like, he seems like a stand-up person that I can trust whatever he is selling. So I think Shaquille O'Neal is doing a great job in all of his business endeavors of persuading me to eat pizza, or whatever insurance he's selling, or whatever car he's trying to fit into. I think he's a great businessman and really effective in his persuasion. So I like to say that the best people at persuasion are kids, celebrities, and communicators. So we all have known kids, or you've been that kid where you're, oh, I just want some McDonald's. Mom, Dad, can I stop? Can we get fast food? Kids are great at persuasion. They're going to give you the puppy dog eyes. They're going to give you a reason, and they're going to give you a rebuttal to your response. So when you're thinking about persuasion, it's great to think about the mind of a kid and their effective way of getting what they want. So kids are great persuasion, or great communicators at persuasion. And then celebrities. Celebrities are often opinionated, but also they can use their status and their following to really communicate and get you to buy their products. We've seen celebrities that have really great products, and then some that have lackluster products, but their status has allowed them to be persuasive in getting that product to be well promoted. And then we have communicators. So we have the minds behind different products. Often these are marketers, these are strategic communicators who are often sitting in a boardroom and coming up with effective ways of getting you to buy a product or think differently about a brand. So these are often people who are considering brand image, different marketing strategies, and applying them to different ways of selling or communicating something to you. And it's often for a goal purpose. So there's three modes of persuasion, and you've probably learned about this in an English class or maybe in a mass communication course. But I want to talk today a little bit about the modes of persuasion in regards to rhetoric. So ethos is a way that uses ethical approach to persuasion. So it relies a lot on image, trust, reputation, and honesty. And this could also use a celebrity endorsement, um, like the celebrities that we saw. Maybe they're promoting a shoe deal, or they're promoting a new drink that they've come out with. But this is often considered something like it's time to do the right thing, or put your hand in mine and let me guide you to the way that is the best. So this is also considering like celebrities and endorsements, and using an ethical approach to uh, rhetoric. And then we have pathos. This is going to be emotional appeal. So it appeals towards your viewers' feelings and the passions behind them. So you may not need this, but they're going to convince you that you want it, or you have to do something. So I like to think about the sad puppy dog commercials when I'm thinking about pathos. This is kind of the sad and dreary puppy dog story where you need to donate $1 a day to save a puppy. So they do a really great job at conveying the sad music and the storytelling behind the story that needs to be done. And it also is very effective storytelling. And then we have logos. This is a logical reasoning. And this is the one that gets me kind of like, oh, I have to you have to convince me statistically to buy something. So the facts, the evidence, are the reason why you need to buy something. It just makes sense, or you have to use your head to buy this product. So maybe it's giving you how many how much of the statistical data is going to change your life if you buy this product. Or this often, I think, is used in toothpaste commercials. They're telling you a doctor or an expert's opinion, but also using statistical data of why this works so much better than the other leading brand. So this is another great approach to persuasion. And with the three modes of persuasion, I want to talk a little bit about how you can pair those with some really great strategies. And then the first one is association. So this often links a product or a service with an idea, something that's already desired by an audience. So I like to think about Michael Jordan's shoes here. Michael Jordan has the Be Like Mike campaign. So not only are you going to get a shoe with this product, you're going to get to be like Mike and fly and be the best basketball player. So the association with the status of the shoe, and also with being able to be a great basketball player, is a really effective way of convincing somebody, oh, I really need this shoe so I can be, in essence, like Michael Jordan. And then there's bandwagon. Everybody's doing it and I need it. A lot of times I think about a trend or something that is really popular. We've gone through a lot of the different tumbler cups that have been very trendy that everybody has to get immediately. Or a lot of times you see different book bags or different things that are popular among young people, and everybody's gravitating towards the same thing, and they have to get it because they have to be part of the bandwagon. And then we have beautiful people. If you get this product, you're going to be like the celebrity endorsing it. You're going to be able to look good, feel good. A lot of times this is makeup commercials, fashion commercials, sunscreen commercials. These use beautiful people to convince you that you have to have this in order to be like them and feel good and be beautiful. And then sometimes there's bribery. I think a lot of times about the car sales marketing that I get in my mail, that you'll get so much off if you come by on this day, or if you scratch off the letters on this and you match to get the perfect number, you're going to be able to win something for free. You can also see this in buy one get one free or free gift. A lot of times you see this on Facebook or something, and this will be a very effective approach of getting somebody's attention and persuading them, hey, I didn't need this before, but since it's buy one get one free, I guess I really actually might need it. So it's an effective strategy there. And then we have celebrities, celebrities like the Shaquille O'Neal commercials that I was referencing um, earlier. And the celebrities are really effective because they have a large following and they're going to get that message out and convince people, hey, my celebrity that I enjoy keeping up with is promoting this product. So maybe I need it. I trust them and I respect them. So I'm going to listen to their advice. And then we also have experts relying on the evidence from some of the most important people on the knowledge of that subject. We can go back to the toothpaste commercials. We also see this in like medicine and different things where we listen to our doctors and our industry experts. But that's a very effective way also of convincing people, hey, if somebody that's an expert on this subject, or even if it's we can use like maybe a sports player if they're endorsing something, or if they're endorsing a baseball bat and it's a very respected baseball player, hey, that's going to be an expert, and if they're using it and it's working for them, maybe I need it as well. So we have a video that's going to use some of these modes of persuasion. Having a little bit trouble hearing it, Angela.
I'm sorry.
I think I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing it.
Oh, that's good, is to
Okay,
bring
it's good now.
delicious comfort food with a nutritious twist to all of America. When you find something great, I always want to share it. That is my inspiration.
It doesn't matter how many records I break or how many rings I win. I know I can always be better. There are two of me. There's the person I am and the person I'm driven to be. We're in a constant chase to become the best version of myself.
You're intrigued by movie making as a career, this isn't the class for you. But if you need to make movies, if you feel like you can't rest until you've told this particular story that you're burning to tell, then I could be speaking to you. I'm Martin Scorsese, and this is my master class.
Sarah? Sarah? Clean it up?
Honey, you don't have to worry. Everyone's a little bit nervous in their first day of school.
Then I'll study hard and focus on school.
Okay, that sounds good. No. Well, that sounds like a good plan.
Clearly, my whitening toothpaste is not cutting it.
Time for white strips. Crest Glamorous White strips are the only ADA-accepted whitening strips proven to be safe and effective. They work below the enamel surface to whiten 25 times better than a leading whitening toothpaste.
Here's something you might not know. After you see what others paid, just sign up for free and TrueCar's certified dealers go to work. Not bad. They help you find your car. Very nice. And make you competitive offers. This is the one.
Palm Wonderful Pure Pomegranate Juice is more than just full of antioxidants. It's packed with a burly battalion of free radical impaling antioxidants.
This friend and we got something to do. You call on me, I drop what I do.
Well, that gives us a little bit of an example of some of the modes of persuasion in everyday marketing. If anybody wants to, I would love to hear which one was most impactful to y'all, or what was the most effective strategy used in one of those commercials. You can throw it in the chat or feel free to speak out. I think you're muted, Angela. Sorry.
For me, it was the one with the little girl.
Oh,
That very impactful, and it made me think about, like you said, with the um, adopted animal commercials.
yeah, I think that one. And then I also think Apple has a way and a style of their marketing that's really, they've gone the very strategic and very outlining their product in a way that it's different and it also works for them. So I think the emotion and the logical are both really effective ways. And even the Martin Scorsese ad, I think about every time I see that ad, I'm like, well, maybe I need to take a master class because if it works for somebody like that, I want to be like them. So I think that that's an effective way of selling masterclass if you have really effective people in the industry endorsing that. I think all three of those are really great ways of convincing people, and that the one that you reference is really a great advertisement. All right, let's continue on, and I have a little bit of an activity, and I'm going to throw this on the
Miss
screen.
Margaret said she liked the athlete. She says we look up to celebrities so much in sports, and when they are good, then we want to wear their shoes, drive their cars. So true.
That's so true. Yes. And I think Steph Curry has done such a great job of being a um, way of almost catering himself to the world in a way that he's a great role model and the kids want to be like him, and anything that you can convince the kids and the parents of both alike, that's a great way of being a persuasive individual and getting behind both the family. Steph Curry's done a great job in that as well. Bouncing off what we've just watched, we've seen some, make this large really fast. We've seen some industry examples. I would love to take the opportunity to find something on your desk or maybe around you and pitch this to maybe the chat or unmute yourself and give an example. But find something on your desk or in your office or whatever's around you and use a mode of persuasion. And I can also put back it up on the screen and pitch that product to the Zoom meeting. So, Angela, if you want to go first and start us off, I'll volunteer you if that's okay with you. And I'm going to put these back on the screen if you want to use these alike.
Sure, I'm happy to do that.
Yes.
I am going to go with association.
Okay.
Here is a coaster. It is a Georgia College coaster, and it says, follow your passion, follow your purpose. So this is a product in which I am associated with Georgia College, and I think we associate ourselves with, or we want to associate ourselves with a purpose or a passion for why we're here. You know, what are we supposed to be doing in this life? And so I think this follow your passion and follow your purpose, because you're here right now on this employer education partnership webinar, you are seeking information and a means to learn more, to better yourself, to better the people that you are around, and to support your employer. So this
Great
is
job.
this is
Yes,
my
that's perfect.
persuasion.
Is there anybody else that wants to do one or throw it in the chat?
There's a bottle of Tums on my desk that tells me it's going to work in seconds. So I think that's bribery.
That's great. Yes. Oh, I think we have another one in the chat.
That's okay, Margaret. You don't have to have a
Yeah.
microphone, but if you want to type something in the chat, we'll certainly
great, yeah.
read it off and accept it. I will tell you, one of my favorite commercials are the Allstate Mayhem. I couldn't remember who it was. I was doing a quick Google search on the company because I remember Mayhem, right?
That's
And I would say he's probably a combination between a celebrity, because they give him like a celebrity status, but and it also, I think, draws on emotions, because mayhem is an emotion. And
That's
then, of course, the logistics, right? Like this is why you need insurance, because these things happen. And so I think Allstate does a really good job across all three of those areas to persuade and influence people.
And we almost need all three in a way, because not one strategy might be tailor-made to one person, but in essence, we have to be able to communicate or persuade. If we have a big audience, we have to persuade each different individual. And sometimes it's best to make a strategy with all three.
That's right.
And then, all right, so I have a picture of Transformers on my desk. Optimus Prime, help me to to help people. Yes, I like that. Is there any more?
I have a sign that says, "Unto God." It is an idea that reminds me that everything that I do is unto God. It is with passion, faith, and empathy.
Oh,
We got a group of people that likes to help people and to think outside the box. I love that.
that's
And
right.
community. Very nice. This is a great sign of leadership, I think, in our state. So thank you all for participating in that and sharing what your passions and your
Great, effective strategies. I love it. We're going to continue on. So the last thing that I want to share with us today is a strategy of thinking in personas. And this is a way that we can think about, it's called the vowels method. And there's different ways of considering the people that you're communicating or trying to persuade. So there's innovators, thinkers, achievers, experiencers, believers, strivers, makers, and survivors. And I'm going to let everybody take a quick second, look at those little descriptions, and throw in the chat which one you think you are.
I am a thinker and an innovator. So I love to plan and research, and I don't always consider before acting, but it depends on what it is. If I'm traveling, I want to know where I'm going before I get there. But I'm an innovator when it comes to visionary thinking for my department. So I'm confident enough to try something and fail at it. Philip says he's a thinker.
So do y'all think that logic is the best way to persuade y'all in marketing or in any aspect of your life? You need the facts, you need the statistics of why we need to. So yes, we have a lot of thinkers in the meeting today. Signs of some great leadership.
I think
Go
I'm
ahead.
more, I don't know where this stands on the category list, but I'm going to definitely do like my research, especially if there's any bit of me that's leaning towards that product or whatever it is. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that is in the categories, but I'm going to check the facts, or, I'm not just going to blindly follow the persuasion.
There's a term in marketing for that's called an early adapter. And I think us being logical, we're going to be a little bit later in the adoption of something. We're not going to be the first one to try something out. We're going to see if it works, and we're going to maybe wait. And we have somebody else that's thinkers and strivers. That's an awesome combination. So we have to also consider maybe strivers could use different things. So we could use the celebrity appeal, but also have to use some data-driven evidence to convince. All of these are great ways to kind of know what ways ourselves are convinced by the world around us, but also consider this for who we are persuading as well. So that kind of ends my presentation. I'm excited to answer some questions that you might have.
So I'd like to hear some initial thoughts on what you're thinking. How did this presentation get you thinking? Is it more about how you receive consumer content, commercials, advertising, or are you thinking about how you might be able to use these tools to promote products and services in the employers that you work for? What initially are you guys thinking?
Well, I know for me, I work in local government, so I'll be taking this and trying to apply it in my position with the communities and businesses that I work with. Not
That's
necessarily what you want to hear from local government. We're trying to, but
Well, what department do you work in, Philip?
capital projects.
Okay.
So
Oh,
some things that are funded through local government as far as like a big project, construction projects and whatnot.
absolutely. You have to get buy-in. You have to be persuasive and influential.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
using state dollars to build stuff.
Oh, yes.
Excellent.
But if not, thank you for having me, Angela. I enjoyed sharing today on this topic. I think we have another one coming up.
Yes. Thank you, Christopher, for your time today and for sharing with us your knowledge and talent on how to be persuasive. And so next week's program, it'll be again on next Thursday, September 26th at 12 o'clock. It will be on crisis communication. So I'm really excited about hearing this. And we hope that you will join us next week. And please share this information with your peers and let them know that we would love for them to join us. We are grateful for your time and for your participation. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.